Hello and welcome to lesson number 4 of Learn Violin with me. Remember that not only am I the teacher, I'm also the student just like you, because I also am learning how to play the violin with you in real time. I hope you tuned your violin. If you need to know how to tune, you can check back on one of the last 3 lessons that we've done together where I tuned at the beginning, so you can kind of see how that process works, or you can look up a YouTube video or something that shows you how to tune the violin. I'm going to start the timer, the 15-minute timer, because remember, it's all about spending little chunks of time frequently as opposed to a huge amount of time and then leaving it for a month or a long time. So instead, we're going to do little kind of pockets of time frequently to learn how to play the violin together. All right, the timer is started and we are going to get going where we left off. The last thing we did in the last lesson was we started on the D string. We started talking a little bit about putting our fingers on the D string and changing the notes that way. Before we do that, let's very quickly flip back to page number 5, and we will start with the last song that we did, which is the Essential Elements quiz. So if you look at page number 5, we're going to just go through this song really quickly, this piece of music really quickly, and then we'll move on and continue learning about the different notes on the D string. Remember that we're holding our violin in guitar position, which means our violin is against our stomach with the strings facing out. The scroll is facing up almost to our shoulder. And we have our thumb playing, our right hand thumb playing the D string and also the A string. And our left hand is very gently holding the neck of the violin, making sure not to touch the notes. All right, we see quarter notes and quarter rests, so we are going to stop the vibration of the notes during the rests so that it's complete silence. All right, let's look at number 9. We'll start on the D string, which is the 2nd string going down, and then we'll move to the A string, which is the 3rd string going down, starting on the D string. Remember, there's a repeat at the end of this song, this piece of music, so we do it 2 times through. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Great job. All right, let's turn the page. We're working exclusively on the D string, so the 2nd string going down. It has us shaping our left hand, because this is the hand we're going to use to change the different notes on the strings. It has us holding finger 1, which is our pointer finger, fingers 2 and 3, which is middle is 2, ring finger is 3, and then pinky finger is 4. Those are different than the piano fingering, so if you're a piano player, that might be something that you have to get used to. So 2 and 3 are essentially touching, they're together, and then fingers 1 and 4 have some space in between. So you're going to turn your hand around, you're going to bring your hand to the fingerboard, which is this part right here. Place your fingers on the D string, keeping your hand shaped how you had it. Be sure your first finger forms a square, which means it's perpendicular to the fingerboard, and your wrist is relaxed and straight. Very, very important. Don't get in the habit of turning your wrist like this, because that can develop a really bad habit and you can actually hurt your wrist. So we're placing our fingers on the D string in that shape. The first finger, your pointer finger, is about 1 inch going up. Finger number 2 is about another inch. Finger 3 is a 1/2 inch, so essentially touching. And then finger 4 is another inch. So these aren't exact measurements, but that's about what it's going to look like from your perspective. When you play with, it says G is played with 3 fingers on the D string. So we're going to lift our pinky. So we have our pointer, middle, and ring finger down. And it should sound like this. G, just like that. So try playing that a few times. G. F sharp is played with 2 fingers on the D string, so you lift your ring finger. F sharp, F sharp. Try that a few times. And E is played with 1 finger on the D string. E, E. Let's try that again. So replace those fingers. Check your wrist. Mine was a little bit bent, so I have to even get used to that too. Remember, I'm new to this too. All right, here we go. So first we're going to play G should be like this, sound like this. G. Then lift your ring finger. So now you're playing F sharp, F sharp. Now lift your middle, and it's just your pointer finger now playing E, 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 E. If you need to pause the video at any time and practice this a little bit more, feel free to do that at any point. All right, number 10, let's read G. Start memorizing the note names. Okay, so looks like this song, this piece of music. I keep accidentally saying song. A song is the difference between a song and a piece of music. A song has lyrics to it or words to it. A piece of music does not. None of these do, so I have to keep calling them pieces of music. Sorry about that. Here we go. So G has 3 fingers down. Check your measurements. So it should be about 1 inch to your pointer finger, 1 inch to your middle, and 1/2 inch to your ring finger. Why that's important is because each of these notes have a specific pitch to them. You can't just kind of slap your fingers wherever you want, and it's not like a piano. So a piano, if you want to play middle C, you hit middle C, you press it down, and it sounds the pitch no matter what. I mean, as long as it's in tune, as long as you press that key down, it's gonna sound a middle C. But that's different on string instruments like this. So you can hear how when I slide it, it changes the pitch. So you have to make sure that you're pressing down the string at the correct spot to create the pitch that you want it to be. So that's why these measurements, I keep saying inch, 1/2 inch, that sort of thing. But now we're focusing on G. G, that's what it should sound like. All right, if we look at this piece of music, I did it. It's just quarter notes, quarter rests, and they're all on G, the G line, right? Because reading the line notes of the treble clef, going from the bottom up, is E, G, B, D, F. That's why those quarter notes are written on the second line going up, because the second line going up is a G. So let's try to sight read this. I don't see a repeat sign, so we'll do it 1 time through. 1, 2, ready, play. G, 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 rest. G, 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 rest. G, 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 rest. All right, let's try that again. I accidentally hit the G string, sorry. All right, here we go. Let's try it again. I won't sing along this time, so you can just hear the violin while we play it. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. Let's try that one more time. I was dampening the string, but because my violin is plugged into an amp, it was kind of picking up this lower, it was vibrating this lower G string a little bit, so I need to also dampen that one. Who knew? All right, let's try it one more time, a little bit faster of a steady beat, of a tempo. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. All right, moving on, a sharp. A sharp sign raises the sound of notes and remains in effect for the entire measure. Notes without sharps are called natural notes. So that's why you see it looks like a pound sign or a hashtag. It's called a sharp in music. So instead of playing regular F, when we put 2 fingers down in the position that they're telling us, it creates an F sharp. So it's slightly higher than a regular F. So now we have 2 fingers down, right? Fingers 1 and 2. You'll see a little 2 over top of the F sharp, right? So it's telling you that you're using fingers 1 and 2. All right, let's check out this piece of music. Play all F sharps. Sharps apply to the entire measure. So if you check it out, the sharp is only written on the very first F of the measure, but that sharp carries through the entire measure. No repeat sign, so we play it one time through. Let's do it. Check your wrist position. I'm still kind of working on figuring out what's comfortable, but I'm sure you are too. That'll come as we practice. All right, here we go. Number 11. 1, 2, ready, play. Let's try it one more time. 1, 2, ready, play. Okay, let's move on to number 12. So here we are switching between G, which is 3 fingers. You see that little 3 above the G, and F sharp, which is 2 fingers. So you're lifting that ring finger up and down. Make sure when you press the violin strings, you're pressing down firmly so that you get the string the entire way tight on that fingerboard. Don't hurt yourself, obviously, but make sure that it's completely on there. If you're not getting a clear sounding note, it sounds really dampened for some reason, that might be the reason why. So make sure that you're pressing firmly enough so that it's tight against that fingerboard. All right, first we have G, so the 2 notes should sound like this. G, F sharp, G, F sharp. Just try flipping back and forth between those 2 a couple times. G, F sharp, G, F sharp, G, F sharp. All right, here we go. Number 12, lift off. Make sure that wrist is as straight as you can get it. Here we go. Starting with G, then the next measure is F sharp, and then we start combining the 2. If you look at the end of the line, there is a repeat sign. You can tell by those 2 dots, so we're going to play through this 2 times. We're going to start it off nice and slow. Slow is always your best option. You can always speed it up, that's easy. But if you try to play it too quickly, too fast, and you mess up, well, now you're kind of like, the muscle memory is kind of getting messed up, and it will take you longer to learn it the right way. So you might as well just start super slow to begin with so that the accuracy is there. All right, number 12. 1, 2, ready, play. G, 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 F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, G, G, F sharp, F sharp, G, F sharp, G, again, G, 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 rest, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, rest, G, G, F sharp, F sharp, G, F sharp, G, rest. I forgot to tell you that the space notes on a treble clef staff going from the bottom up spell out the word face, F-A-C-E. So that's why the F sharp is written in that bottom space, because any note that you see in that bottom space is going to be an F. So that's why it's written that way. Let's try this again. Make sure that your pitches are matching my pitches. Starting with G, 3 fingers down, check your wrist position. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. G, 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 F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, G, G, F sharp, F sharp, G, F sharp, G, 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 rest, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, G, G, F sharp, F sharp, G, F sharp, G, rest. And you can see underneath that song it says, is your left hand shaped as shown in the diagrams above? So are your fingers spaced how they should, and is your wrist position how it should be? So that's how important the technique is and the hand position to learn these right away, so that as we progress, we at least know that we have the basis down correct. All right. We have 36 seconds left, so let's try it one more time. Here we go. Number 12, lift off. Ready, play. G, 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 rest. F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, rest. G, G, F sharp, F sharp, G, F sharp, G. Again. G, 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 rest. F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, rest. G, G, F sharp, F sharp, G, F sharp, G. Perfect. All right, we did it. Next lesson, we'll move on to page number 7. Looking ahead, it says shaping the right hand. Bow Builder 1, pencil hold. Okay, so next lesson, make sure you have a pencil because it looks like we're going to be practicing how to hold the bow, which tells me, I haven't looked ahead, but it tells me that very soon we're going to start adding the bow, which will add a whole new element to this experiment. All right, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time.